With WWE Originals being the main feature in WWE 2K20, it looks like we're going to get more people on the roster in-game on release than ever. So today, I want to look at new superstars that could possibly be in WWE 2K20. First off, I want to take a look at the NXT UK roster. There's a lot of great talent on NXT UK, including Walter, the NXT UK champion, and Toni Storm, the NXT UK women's champion. I feel like those two alone should be included in WWE 2K20. But there are some other people that could be included, such as Wolfgang and Trent Seven, as they were part of the UK scene starting off. Zach Gibson, who's part of the tag team champions with James Drake. We also have people that were in like the Mae Young Classic, like Jazzy Gabert. Joe Coffey could be a part of it. Joseph Connors, Jordan Devlin. There's a whole bunch of people on this list. Mark Andrews that could possibly be a part of this roster. Dave Mastiff, Alexander Wolf. But I'd like to see them feature a big inclusion of the NXT UK people. In WWE 2K19, there was a few people that were just simply managers in the game, and one of those people is Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick, I think, should be a playable character in this game. I know if you went in, you edited the attire, copied him over, you could actually play as him. But I feel like he should have his own moveset, entrance, all that stuff, being the general manager of 205 Live and then being an active WWE 24/7 champion. I believe Drake Maverick should be part of the active roster. Another people are the Singh brothers. We knew that they were with Jinder Mahal as managers last year. This year, I believe they should have a spot on the roster as active wrestlers. A man who really came into his own is Buddy Murphy. I do believe that Buddy Murphy will make it into this game. He was in previous WWE games, but he wasn't in WWE 2K19. So I think that based off of how he has been perceived on the roster, now having big caliber matches, having a major storyline, being involved in a major storyline with Daniel Bryan, I believe Buddy Murphy should be featured on this roster. I don't know when the roster cutoff is, but looking at what he did in 205 Live and then to where he is now, I think Buddy Murphy definitely needs to be a part of the game. NXT recently featured a breakout tournament. This was a bunch of up-and-coming superstars that didn't make their TV debuts, but they were in the NXT breakout tournament. I think that you could get a lot of these people to be in the WWE game to get the most close, realistic roster that you could possibly have. And now these guys are starting to get featured in big NXT matches, and stuff's going to be happening. I would love for them to be included in the WWE 2K20 game. Now, we know that WWE likes to forget about what really happens at the Saudi Arabia shows. As we know, Braun Strowman has this green title that he does nothing with. But we do want to talk about Mansoor, who won the 50-man Battle Royale, greatest, biggest, largest Battle Royale of all time. And that puts him on the map as a superstar who's done something that nobody else has ever done. Now, whether they're going to use him in the future on the main roster, bring him up, do great things with him, that's yet to be seen. But he was with Saudi Arabia. We know how WWE and Saudi Arabia have this deal together. So maybe they'll use him more in the future. They want to put more stock into him. So if they're going to put him in the game, if they're going to put the greatest Royal Rumble or something like that in the game, I feel like they should include him in the game because it would be a great thing. It'd be like a great little nod to say, hey, you did it. You won that Battle Royal, even though we know how WWE likes to run that stuff and they forget about it right after it happens. Now we're going to finish it off with some NXT superstars who I believe should be in WWE2K20. They weren't in WWE 2K19 for whatever reason it was. Maybe it was contract issues. Maybe they weren't even on the roster yet. But here are some people that I think from the NXT roster should be in WWE 2K20. Starting off, I would go with Yoshi Rai. Yoshi Rai has become a breakout in the women's division, and what she's been doing is awesome. Her recent heel turn, she's doing great things, so I think Yoshi Rai would be great on the roster. Next, I would do Matt Riddle because the bro has been all over the place. He's been a main focus now. He's probably one of the biggest NXT guys on the roster. He's like a big staple of NXT. You think of some of those guys, he is one of those staples on there. So putting Matt Riddle in the game would just be awesome. I'd love to come out with the bro, flip the flip-flops off, and kick some butts and make people tap out. That's what I want, Matt Riddle. Another guy who's become a staple of the NXT will help them grow on USA. That is Keith Lee. And I think Keith Lee will be a great addition to the game just because of his uniqueness, how he is, just somebody great down there in NXT that people love to see. He's got that independent credit, and now coming into NXT, finally getting his spot on the roster. He is somebody who I think would be perfect. So much fun to play as. I would love to see him in WWE 2K20. Next on our list from New Japan Pro Wrestling coming into NXT is Kishida. I would love to see Kishida make it into the game. He's been hyping up Evolve. I think he was at a last Evolve appearance. He did something that I know Angle went to that show and he saw Kishida, and that was pretty cool. There were some NXT guys there. But I think that getting Kishida in the game would be so much fun to play as. I loved watching with time splitters and stuff like that. So being able to play with him in WWE 2K20 would be awesome. And again, just getting that roster that's as close to the game comes out is always a good thing. Getting Kishida in here, putting him in the game would be just so great, and I want to see that. We all know that Shayna Baszler has been in the WWE game. She was in WWE 2K19, but I do think this year they should have Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir. I think they both need to be in the game as active wrestlers. They're a main part of what makes Shayna Baszler awesome. They've been in ring themselves, been doing awesome things, and I think including them, having them do the 4 horsewomen thing, then you could just set up the whole 4 horsewomen because they're doing that women's evolution. They're doing the 2K showcase with the 4 horsewomen on the main roster. They get the ones in NXT, add Ronda Rousey, you could have that dream match that you want to have, 4-on-4. Let's do the tag team match. Make it happen. Let's put them in the game. Speaking of Shayna Baszler, she just faced Mia Yim at NXT TakeOver Toronto. What a great match that was. I love that match with the figure 4 head scissors to retain the title. Shayna Baszler is a force to be reckoned with, but I do think that Mia Yim should be in the game. I loved watching her in Impact Wrestling, and I loved her in NXT, and I just think she's a great fit. I think, again, if you're going to make the roster have a lot of people as the game comes out, you need to have a vast NXT roster. Mia Yim is awesome. You gotta put her in the game. That's somebody that I would love to play as far as the females go, and I think we're going to have more females than we've ever had in the WWE game. So let's include Mia Yim. Let's get her in the game. Let's show that, hey, we can deliver great wrestlers right away, right when this game comes out, and have the most updated roster that we possibly can. It'll set a precedent going forward. And last on the list, well, these two were not included in WWE 2K19, and we didn't really know why. Nikki Cross was left off the game in WWE 2K19, but we know this year she will be in the game as part of the 2K originals with the twisted Nikki Cross thing, and there's an original, and there's like a zombie thing, and a bunch of crazy stuff. So Nikki Cross will be in the game this year, which is awesome that they came to that agreement. Maybe they just didn't scan her in time. Maybe she wasn't ready. I don't know what the deal was, but she wasn't in the game. And Tommaso Ciampa. Tommaso Ciampa did not make it in 2K19, and a lot of people were saying, well, it had to do with contract issues. He wasn't making enough money. I know in the past there was some issues with money and how much Superstars made off the WWE games. I know that Mick Foley pulled out one year because he didn't feel that he was getting compensated enough for his likeness in the game. What's happening, though, is this year we're going to get an inclusion of a lot of Superstars, so I don't know that the cut of them being in the game is going to be that high. But I think what Ciampa was doing was kind of taking a stand and saying, you know what, I am valuable. I'm a big part of this roster. I'm a main guy. You should pay me more for my likeness in the game. I don't know if that's what was going on. That's what I heard through the grapevine back in the day, that's why he didn't make it in the game. And I was kind of shocked. I was kind of blown away that he wasn't in the game. And it was one of those things where like, but why? He was like a main guy. His stuff with Gargano. Why? But he didn't make it in the game. And I hope that they come to some agreement now, but he's kind of injured at the moment. So is he going to be a part? I don't know, man. A lot of these guys are killing themselves in NXT, and their life, their quality of life for NXT, the lifespan that they have in NXT is going down, and that's what's happening with Ciampa. So I don't know if he's going to make a return, but I would love to play as him in the game. I know Defract made an awesome one on the PS4, so you could play as like a pretty much realistic version of him, but I want the real version, the actual Tommaso Ciampa. I want to play as him. I want to put on some 5-star bangers. I want to have some awesome stuff. And I just think he needs to be in the WWE games. So there you go, guys. That is my list of superstars who I'd love to see in WWE 2K20 that weren't in previous WWE games for whatever reason it was. I would love to see these people in WWE 2K20. So I want to know your thoughts. Who do you want to see in WWE 2K20? Did I miss somebody? Did I forget somebody? Did I put somebody on the list? You're like, why would... No, don't put them in a game. Let me know your thoughts. Hit that like button if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And as always, I'm TonyPizzaGuy. We will see you in another video.